You can see why this is one of the most popular wild camping locations in the Peak District. But Stanage Edge is one of several places in the Peak District that is now being patrolled and wild campers are being moved along. So today I thought I'd discuss the social media frenzy that this could be the beginning of the end of wild camping here in the UK. So if you follow any of the social media outlets or forums regarding wild camping, then you've probably seen that there's been a big frenzy because a lot of people have been turned away from pitching the tent in places like here on Stanage Edge. This is one of a number of locations in the Peak District, including Bamford Edge, Derwent Edge and the Hallam Moors. So I've personally had several messages from people that have been turned away by either gamekeepers or representatives of the landowners who are asking them to leave, and they've also said that they can use reasonable force, which actually isn't the case. They're not allowed to do that. What they are allowed to do is civilly ask you to leave, and if you refuse, then they can contact the police. So you might be wondering how the landowner is actually getting up here and finding you when you've got your tent stealthily pitched up. Well, it seems that the land workers or the rangers are getting up here on quad bikes, and the Outdoors Magic magazine has reported that they are using thermal imaging cameras to actually see where the hotspots are and find people pitched up in the tents. From some of the conversations that I've had from people that have messaged me, they've also said that they've been using cameras as well to find people. It's been quite civil when they've asked them to move on. However, it's been late at night and dark that they've asked them to get off places like Bamford Edge, which in my opinion is quite dangerous. So I've also heard that this is not just limited to the Peak District. There are parts of North Wales, in Snowdonia, where landowners are also asking people to move on. Some news outlets in Scotland that suggest some people are calling for wild camping to be banned altogether up there due to people damaging the land, littering, leaving tents, etc. And one other big complaint that they've got is there are still some campers and hikers out there that insist on having fires and barbecues. As I'm talking to you now, Marsden Moor here in the Peak District is currently alight due to somebody bringing a barbecue up there. Crazy. And the thermal imaging cameras that are now being used to capture wild campers were originally bought for detecting wildfires in early stages. But it's not just the edges and the moors that are being targeted. If you check out English Woodsman's latest video, they were asked to leave when trying to pitch up at the side of Lady Barrow Reservoir. So it seems all the honey spots, so to speak, being targeted at the moment by landowners. So is this the beginning of the end when it comes to wild camping here in the UK? Well, I don't think so. However, I would avoid certain locations for the foreseeable future, and I do have a few hints and tips to help you reduce the chance of getting moved on. So the first thing I suggest is avoid places like Bamford Edge, Stanage Edge, which are really easy to get to. If it only takes you 20 minutes to get here, then a ranger on a quad can get here much quicker. The next thing I suggest is that you don't post all over social media where you're going to be camping. I've seen no end of people say, all packed up, ready for Bamford Edge. Well, there have been cases of the gamekeepers or land workers joining these Facebook groups. I know a few of them have been kicked out, so just be wary of where you post where you're going. So another thing you can do is head somewhere a little more remote, such as the Lake District or the northern part of Kinder Scout, where it's quite a lot more bleak and remote. You're very unlikely to come across any gamekeepers or rangers up there. It's not as if they're going to be chasing you with a helicopter. You may also want to tone things down a little bit and keep your red tents at home and your 1,000 lumen head torches because they're like beacons on the side of a hill. You're much better off with a sand coloured tent and just get your light on the moonlight mode or as dim as possible. So you may also want to keep your group sizes down as well. If you're pitching in groups of 4 or 5, you're much more likely to stand out and stand a greater chance of being caught and asked to move. Solo camping is a much more discreet affair, and it's good for the soul as well. And if you've not tried it yet, why not try bivvy camping? You could easily drop a bivvy there and you're not going to be seen or picked up by any thermal imaging camera unless somebody's right on top of you. So for the last few years I've promoted that people get out and have a go at wild camping, and it's people like me and the social media groups and things like that that has made the pastime grow. It's now got a huge following, and to be honest, I think that's a good thing. I think people should get out and enjoy the outdoors and be at one with nature. But it has come with a few challenges. As more and more people want to try it, they want to take the easy option, you know, the short walk up, pitch the tent, have that dream campfire. But if you don't do it right, it will spoil it for everybody else. So as long as you're well out of the way, leave no trace whatsoever, there's no reason why you can't get out and enjoy wild camping like the rest of us. And let's hope when Benidorm opens again, all this blows over. So if you want to know all the legalities of wild camping, then check out this video here. But that's it for this one. I'll see you next time.